You do remember the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot, right? We've talked about it extensively on the show. We talked to Representative Dan Bishop about it, but just in case you forgot, it's an election year, right? Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. It's an election year. And all of a sudden, we all wake up and we have these headlines. I know you do the same thing I do. You wake up, roll over, look at your phone, and you're looking at the headlines of the day. And there's these headlines that the FBI foiled some kidnapping and assassination plot of the Michigan Governor Whitmer. And then as soon as you dug into it, you found out, oh my goodness, it was right-wingers. They were mad about her lockdown insanity. Whoa, it's crazy, right? And then these charges kept getting dismissed and the juries kept getting hung. And this is all happening recently. And now we know the reason the charges are getting dismissed and the juries are being hung is the Federal Bureau of Investigation planned, organized, and funded the entire thing and got a couple morons wrapped up in the whole thing. They completely entrapped it, planned it, everything. That is a crime. Entrapment is a crime. What they did was a crime. Well, you may be saying to yourself, okay, well, that's really bad. FBI, man, that's terrible. Surely the guy who ran all that stuff, phew, I bet you he got fired, right? Maybe even facing criminal charges. Oh, you'd be wrong.
How many FBI agents were disciplined or reprimanded after that disastrous case and the misconduct that led to every defendant being acquitted or having a mistrial on every charge?
Senator, I can't comment on a personnel matter. I can tell you that that case, as I understand it, is now pending a retrial, as I understand it.
Well, the special agent in charge of that case has now been sent to D.C., to the Washington, D.C. office, and now leads the investigation regarding January 6th. Is that correct?
That doesn't sound right to me.
That does not sound right. The name of the individual is Stephen D'Antuono. He was run out of the FBI Detroit field office.
Mr. D'Antuono was the special agent in charge of the office, the Detroit field office, and is now the assistant director in charge of the Washington field office. I thought you were asking about the agent who was responsible for the
So the guy in charge got promoted and is now in charge of the January 6th investigation.
The guy in charge of the whole Detroit field office is now in charge of the whole Washington field office.
That is astonishing.
You see? Are you starting to understand just how dangerous this is? If you're at the Federal Bureau of Investigation, it's well known now, it's your job to go after Republicans on behalf of Democrats. Doesn't matter whether it's legal or not. If you simply do your job, the system takes care of its own. Don't I tell you that all the time? You'll get yourself a nice little promotion. Now, the thing is, there are only so many people in the FBI, thank God, and there are only so many hours of the day. You see, if you spend all your time going after school board parents, if you spend all your time framing some people for a governor's kidnapping assassination attempt, if you spend your time spying on Donald Trump, if you spend your time prompting January 6th, we know that was a fed up now, it turns out, man, you are fresh out of time to look into actual domestic terrorists who might be living right next door to you. You do remember the Afghanistan evacuation, right? And just to recap it for you, we were taking off. It was a complete disaster. We were leaving all these people behind, and the Biden administration caught a lot of heat for leaving American citizens behind. People were saying, wait, we got American citizens. We got to get them out. What are you doing? Well, they didn't know how to do that, so instead they just started chucking a bunch of people on planes. I have good friends of mine in the special operations community who were telling me privately, Jesse, you cannot believe some of the people we're bringing back. I know some of these guys. They're bad guys, and they're coming back to America. Yeah, Josh Hawley asked Christopher Wray, what are you doing about it?
According to this whistleblower's allegations, there are 324 individuals who are evacuated from Afghanistan and allowed to enter the United States despite appearing on DOD's biometrically enabled watch list. This is a watch list that identifies folks whose biometrics have been collected and determined to be threats or potential threats to national security, including known suspected terrorists. The whistleblower has also alleged that political appointees to the National Security Council and at DOD instructed agency personnel to cut corners when they were processing Afghan evacuees.
I will say that this was a massive number of people to be vetting in an extraordinarily short period of time, and that in my view, inevitably raises concerns.
I'm sorry? Did the head of the Federal Bureau of Investigation just get asked a point-blank question about why his agency looked the other way and allowed domestic terrorists to maybe live right next door to you, and his answer to a United States senator was, hey, there were lots of them. Nothing we can do about that. There is nothing more dangerous than what's happening right now at the FBI.